In addition to determining how much money you're going to make from selling your product, price is related to value. We talked about the value proposition, where value is a function of benefits received less the costs associated with obtaining those benefits. So price relates to the cost side of the equation. We define that as that which is exchanged. So the lower the cost, the greater the perceived value, because that ratio goes up there. The other side of that coin is that price is a signal of value. We talked about heuristic reasoning. Another common heuristic in business is the price-value heuristic. And the price-value heuristic says that if you have two products that are the same, but one costs twice as much as the other, which is the better product? The one with a higher price, right? And when we talk about luxury goods, actually price is an important element of the value, because for status goods, the fact that I can afford them and you can't is an important part of the equation. Price is also a search attribute because it's a number, and numbers are really easy to compare. So it's a way to position relative to the competition, because I can show where I am in terms of price. We have this, I don't want to go into it. We're going to talk, I hope soon, about the inverted demand curve, but this is kind of counterintuitive. With luxury products, with status good products, the more expensive it is up to a limit, the more you will sell. So a Rolex watch at $595, why would I pay $595 for a Rolex watch? It's probably not very good, because the price value heuristic says if it's $595, it's not a very good watch, even though it says Rolex on the front. But at $1,000, a Rolex is desirable. At $2,000, a Rolex is highly desirable. And at $5,000, I really want to have one, because that really sets me apart now. Another issue or role of price, it's a promotional tool. We had talked about demand. Remember this from economics? I don't want to put a number in front of it, but microeconomics is the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. So if you're trying to increase demand or stimulate demand for your product, price is a way to do that. One of the issues in using price as a promotional tool is, in order for a price change to have any motivating effect, it needs to be noticed by customers. Weber's law, or the law of just noticeable differences, says that it has to be big enough to be recognized. In terms of pricing, 20 to 25% is generally enough to get the customer's attention. And the variation on that theme is framing. If the dollar amount is small, then talk about the percentage. So to save 30 cents on a candy bar, have I excited anybody? To save 30% on a candy bar, that's 20 to 25% or more. That's just noticeable. So 25% gets my attention, 30 cents does not. When it comes to high-ticket items, does $5,000 off a car get your attention? That might only be a $5,000 or 5% difference, but you use the number that has the most impact, is most likely to be noticed. So when you have high-ticket items, use the actual number, because that's likely to be noticeable. I remember that we're watching car advertisement with my daughter. She said, "Dad, you got to buy one of those. It's $500 off for a $50,000 car." And then there's the actual price versus what you think you are going to pay. And all of you who have ever looked at a cell phone bill totally understand this. There's a difference between what you think you're paying and what you're actually paying. And this works on the psychological principle of anchoring and adjustment. And anchoring and adjustment is the initial number kind of becomes fixed in the mind, and then if you go up or down relative to that, as long as you stay in a relatively small area, it's not perceived as being unusual. But if you get too far away, then it gets crazy. So the idea is to use the list price, the explicit price, to set the anchor, And then when you get your cell phone bill and it's not $100, but it's $110, you're upset. But if it was $175, then I would be. So it's the idea, as long as it's not too far different, then we can have these adjustments. Questions?